Chibi Reviews is a 31-year-old anime YouTuber. He's also a self-admitted lolicon and enjoyer of cartoon. Don't worry, this isn't a big secret.
Hey moron! Fucking moron!
By the way, finding out in likelihood this tweet is fake, so I'm just gonna add this here just to show that yeah, this is fake. As far as we know, it's not real. So, yeah.
Big secret or anything, taking one look at his Twitter page reveals that he has happily let the world know these facts about himself around 30,000 times.
You know, it doesn't really help your case when you're trying to paint somebody as terminally online, but you're so lazy that you only pick like a handful of tweets and cycle them through over and over again to make it seem like something more than it is.
Chibi is an avid lolly defender, and he makes no question about it.
One eternity later.
Okay, here's the bit I just want you to watch because I find it weird how he features Null, but mentions nothing of what Null has done, the allegations or anything, even though that came up a lot in this whole situation. And there's a ton of evidence there. It just seems like he's blatantly ignoring it because that guy happens to be on his side of the team. So yeah, just enjoy this bit of the video.
People like Null, who previously moderated sites like 9chan, say that during their years of moderation on one of the most toxic places on the internet, it was always the lolicon people that would eventually post CSAM onto the boards.
Someone said that I should explain why, and I'll just read a post that I said, why would I say that lolicon is child pornography? Why would I do that when I said this in January of this year? And the underlined part is anyone who, and this is me who wrote this, anyone who clutches pearls are fags, and the rationalization that there is some sort of lolicon to child rape as gateway has absolutely zero evidence to back that up. I found my evidence while hosting 9chan. That is the answer. The same exact people who were posting lolicon on the lolly boards were the same people posting child pornography on B. I have zero doubt in my mind at this point.
So am I meant to take Null's word for this, or is there actually evidence for this? Because as we can see, Null is not really one to be trusted, especially with how he reacted during this drama, especially with all the stuff that's come out against him, with, I would say, very strong evidence, and especially with the stuff that he's hosted on his own site. Like, how are you using this guy as a source of evidence in your video? It kind of just makes me think that you really just rushed this together. Well, not think, no. That you rushed this out, you cobbled it all together, you used unreliable sources, you didn't actually show or provide and go, hey look, I'm using this guy as a source because I agree with this point and that point, and I have reason to believe it's true. However, there is stuff here that you should quickly know about this person so you know that they may not be the most reliable narrator, and they themselves may have their own bias against it in this situation. Which is when you're making a video that's meant to be internet news or news in general, you should generally do your best to be as unbiased as possible. Otherwise, anytime somebody's going to watch your content, they're not going to trust a thing you say because they know that you're just bullshitting.
That there is not a huge overlap in those two groups.
That's not to say that Chibi has CSAM on his computer for sure, and this is not an accusation of any kind.
Oh wait, you serious? Let me laugh even harder.
Considering if you look at the older thumbnail, it was very different. It would still imply stuff, called him a creep and such, but this one really implies a lot worse. So the fact that he still kept that part in the video about how, oh, I'm not implying anything, was a straight up lie.
However, when you make yerking off to cartoon drawings of young and underage girls a core part of your identity, you cannot blame people for raising a few eyebrows. I mentioned before how the defining feature of a lolcow is the inability to learn or adapt from one's prior mistakes.
Ladies and gentlemen, we got him.
Meanwhile.
But after thinking about it with Chibi, I just had a realization that seems obvious in hindsight. Chibi thinks his way of adapting and overcoming is by intentionally stoking the fire and provoking his haters to keep him relevant.
okay, then just ignore him. Like, this is all over anime takes mainly, by the way. So it just seems very odd how the amount of vitriol that he's gotten is because of that. And also, you don't even mention all the stuff about the death threats, the swatting, and all that stuff, right? You don't even mention it, even if you don't believe about the swatting or such, right? You don't even try and mention that as possible reason to go, yeah, he's annoying, he's done this and that, he's gone too far. But doxing and swatting, those aren't right, you know? And yeah, it's just so dumb.
Situation that's already had developments as I'm working on this video. So make sure you subscribe because part 2 is definitely coming out and may or may not be worse than what you just heard in this video.
Oh, wait, you serious? Let me laugh even harder.
Anyway, this is the end, so like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.
The end.